welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. So today we're going to be doing another list. And for this list, it came from BookBub, just like the other one that I had done, which I will link down below if you haven't seen that one. And this list was posted on February 22nd of 2022. I'm going to post the list as well. I'm going to link it down below. And this one is called 13 Psychological Thrillers About Seemingly Perfect Couples. So on this list, I will tell you all the books, which ones I've already read and which ones I'm reading for this video. So, The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, I've read that one. The Last Mrs Parish, I'm reading for this video. My Darling Husband by Kimberly Bell, have not read that one. The End of Her by Sherry Lapina, haven't read it. The Next Wife by Kara Ruda. The Husbands by Chandler Baker will be in this video. My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, I've read that one. The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean, no. As Long as We Both Shall Live by Joanne Chaney. The Power Couple by Alex Bernenson is in this list, in this video. And then The Wife Between Us by Sarah Pekkanen and Greer Hendricks, I've read that one. The Three Mrs. Grays by Shelley Ellis, have not read that. And then Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney, I've read that one. So for this video, like I said, the three books we're going to be looking at are The Last Mrs. Parish, The Husbands, and The Power Couple. And it's thrillers, the psychological thrillers about seemingly perfect couples. And the next two clips that you're going to see, I did like a review right after I read them, like the week I read them. The first two books, which are going to be The Husbands and The Power Couple. And then tonight, right before I filmed this, I filmed my thoughts on The Last Mrs. Parish. And I'm going to add that to the end of the video. So, I'm enjoying these lists. Like, I've wrote down so many lists of things, y'all. It's not even funny, because I'm like, you're just making your TBR even longer, because these are all things you're looking forward to, and now I gotta pick and choose which list I'm gonna do it off of. If I can find any reviews or any videos that have the other books that I've already read, I'll link those down below as well. Let's get into the first review by The Husbands by Chandler Baker. The Husbands by Chandler Baker. I had to get this one in large print because that's all they had. So it's a lot thicker than what the normal book would be. And this one was a pretty good read. In the beginning, it was kind of like, okay, are we ever going to get to the point? But once we got to the point, I was like, huh? Like, the twist in here is kind of insane, but like it's a little bit slow, kind of like everyday living that you had to kind of go through, which after you see the twist makes sense of why you had to read all of that. So this is about Nora. She is a successful attorney, but whenever it comes to domestic life, like, she's constantly working. She does the lunches, the school stuff, the home stuff, the groceries, the cooking, the cleaning, and everything. And her husband works hard too, but it feels like she's working so much harder than him all the time. They currently have one child, and she is also pregnant with their second child. And she just feels like once they add this second kid to the mix, it's just going to get even harder for her, because she already does so much already. And it is time for them to find a new house, because the one they're living in is a tight squeeze already with all their stuff, plus bringing in a whole new baby with all of his, all of the baby stuff. It's gonna be a lot. So they go and they look for a new house in Dynasty Ranch. This is a new section that's up in development, and she meets the women, some of the women that live there, and they are all like boss bitches, like just high-powered women. Like, there's a psychiatrist, some type of scientist, CEOs of companies, and just big bosses is what lives in this neighborhood. So another thing she noticed is the husbands in this neighborhood really help out. Like, they will do the majority of the cleaning, the cooking, etc. So she winds up going to look at a house there. They kind of fall in love with it, her more so than him, and they have to kind of make that decision. But in the meantime, they're doing the, you know, the homeowners association. You have to apply for that, and you have to get accepted, all that stuff. So they're kind of doing all the like paperwork to build up to that point. But she starts to mingle with these people as kind of preparing to live there with them, I guess. Kind of get to know them. And there's a house they noticed when they first drove in. It was burned down. And the successful women recruited her as an attorney. They were like, hey, you know, since you're going to be living in this neighborhood, here's some, you know, we're going to send you some cases, whatever. So they give her this case about this house fire, and she has to solve it. You know, she's going through the motions to hopefully bring this to trial and get the family what they deserve. And just some things just seem too good to be true as she's going through this. And then she kind of starts to unravel some of it, but she's getting like mixed reviews. Some people that live there are just like, yeah, I'm all for it. And some just seem like, nah, it's not really me. It's too much. I need to get out. So you kind of back and forth with that. So when they revealed it, I did not think that was going to be the case, like the big twist. And I wish it kind of would have got revealed a little bit sooner to have like more of the aftermath of it. But still, it was still really good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I ever read anything else by Chandler Baker, but I liked her writing style. So I think I'm definitely going to look into other books that she has written, because she doesn't have a list in here. You know how some authors have a list of their other stuff? She doesn't. So I'm definitely going to look and see what else she may have written that maybe I read and just don't remember reading. But yeah, super good. The Power Couple by Alex Bernenson, I believe is how you say his last name. This one was a pretty interesting read. A thriller, definitely. This is about Brian and Rebecca. They've been married for 20-something years. I think over 20 years. They have 2 teenage kids who are well behaved, and they live in Washington in like a suburb. While Rebecca works for the FBI and Brian works for the National Security Agency. So they decide, now that they're, you know, they've gone through the struggle of getting, you know, big people jobs and all that stuff, they're going to celebrate their anniversary, and they're going to take the kids with them. So they take them and they go on like this really big trip to, I believe, Paris, and then they wind up in Barcelona and all this stuff. Well, in Barcelona, Kira, the daughter, goes out, because over there you can drink at a younger age than 21. So she goes out and she's going to meet this guy, but she doesn't tell her parents about it because they'd probably freak and not let her go. But she tells her brother, who's a little bit younger than she is, that she's going to meet up with this guy in Barcelona at this bar at this time. Well, they do that or whatever. Kira doesn't come home. She's not calling, she's not texting, she's not replying to anything. And her parents are like, okay, what's going on? And, you know, mom's in the FBI, so she kind of knows how it works. And there's also like some sketchy play on the backside about the Russians and stuff, where they're thinking like maybe the Russians have a spy within, and maybe somebody is the culprit for information being leaked, and then Kira getting kidnapped. And so this, when she gets kidnapped, they, you know, you go through the process of going to look for her first, and then reporting it so that you can say, hey, I filed a missing persons report, and mom has the connections, so she's working those connections. And dad is, you know, he's right there step by step, and the brother, he keeps getting put out of meetings, and it's really making him mad. But so this one right here, it starts like real time in Barcelona where all this is happening, but then we kind of like go back in time and we see their relationship, the parents' relationships, how like we go through that process and up to this point. And some of the stuff that they kind of dealt with, and it's like, okay, that's typical, whatever. But like now we have two people that work for very high ups in security, basically, in the, you know, in the US, and their daughter's missing, so they're gonna do whatever they can to get them back. However, it feels like mom and dad are playing on different fields, and we have to wait damn near to the end of the book, because that's most books, you know, you gotta wait for the big reveal. So we find out everything, and it's the ultimate plan. Like, the ending was just freaking fantastic. I did not see that coming. Like, as you're reading it, you're thinking it's gonna go one way, and then whoop, out of the blue comes another way, and it was freaking phenomenal. Like, I loved it. And it does say it's a fast-paced, globe-trotting espionage novel full of surprising twists and a nuanced look at modern marriage, the challenges of balancing career, parenthood, sex, and love. And yes, it does hit on all those points. But yeah, so good. And they seem like the perfect couple, but all perfect couples have secrets, according to thrillers. That's how it works. So yeah, that one is definitely one to look at especially if you like novels that have like FBI and like Russian spies and all this other stuff in it, because it gives you a mixture of that as well as the thriller of the fact that the the girl is kidnapped and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely worth a read. The Last Mrs Parish by Liv Constantine. And this one is about Amber Patterson, who she grew up in a small town, little money, like she wants the big time, like she wants to be noticed, she's tired of being invisible. So what she thinks she needs is to sink her claws into someone who is handsome, someone who has a lot of money, that she can benefit from this. So she is after Jackson Parrish, and he is married to Daphne Parrish. So what she does is she finds a way to befriend Daphne, and that is meeting her at the gym, and she becomes her friend. And then she finds out that Daphne runs a non-profit in memory of her sister for a disease or some, I can't recall the exact thing right now, but something that her sister died of. So Daphne figures, so Amber figures that she can use that to her advantage. So she weasels her way into that as well. So now she's getting all tight with Daphne, hoping to weasel her way in between the perfect couple's marriage and destroy it and take over and be the next Mrs. Parrish. But there is something from her past that can ultimately rip everything apart if it is brought to the attention of the parties involved. So she is fighting to keep that on the back low, but also get what she wants, become the it girl, basically. And it was a very good read. It did take a little while to get into it, but once it got into it and the ball started rolling, thoroughly enjoyed it. And just some of the stuff this woman thought of, it's like, are you serious right now? Like, I don't know how I would handle that in a real life situation. Not at all. But it was definitely good. It definitely fit the guidelines of this list. So check it out if you would like to read a thriller kind of mystery of this woman being conniving and trying to break up this marriage. So I will link all the books down below that I read in this video so that you guys can check them out if you are interested. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you really enjoyed. Make sure you check out everything that's linked down below. Check out these lists. If you're a list person like me, you might enjoy some of these lists, and I like the fact that they're labeled. So like if you're in a specific mood, you can go to that list and find a book that'll kind of like specify your mood. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.